Hey girl, welcome to the Black Girl Voices podcast. I'm Shivaun,
And I'm Whitney.
and every week we get together to laugh, cry, shade, and share everything from pop culture to racism.
So grab your headphones and your oversized mug and come and join the conversation.
Welcome, Black. Welcome, Black. Welcome, welcome. Matter of fact, I think that should just be it. Welcome, Black. We are back and slightly less annoyed than the last one. The last, so here's the
Jesus.
thing. I listened to our last episode. Like, yeah, these nighttime recordings might have to be Patreon episodes.
Only Patreon episodes. There's something wrong with us. Sorry, y'all.
Out. I don't know how many times we called men little dicks. I'm here for it.
I apologize to the micro. Anyway, we're not having that conversation
I
today.
ain't apologizing to shit. Let me stop.
I was trying to be nice.
Good
Trying to
morning.
be festive for the holiday season.
Happy Monday. A holiday season. I don't feel much cheer this holiday season. That's the thing.
I'm
Like,
manufacturing it. Like
I
just
am, but I'm forced.
yeah,
You know, like
absolutely.
Because like normally around now, I'm like cozy, warm, family, all the things. But when
Yummy
I'm
food.
a bunch of fucking degenerates pick cabinet fucking picks.
I turned it off.
Yeah, because
It's
at
better
this
for my
point, it's just gonna be a bunch of Teenage Mutant Turtles up there. Like, what can we do?
what Black folks have always done.
What can we do?
Like, think about it. Like, think about what our like, not just our ancestors, but also our elders. Think about what they did. Like, there has never been an administration that we Black folks have absolutely, like, needed and were, like, 10 toes down about. There has never been that administration.
Yeah.
It is, like, even, we love Obama. We love the Obamas. But, like, there has never been an administration that has been just 10 toes down protecting and serving Black folks.
Right. Like, we even in us supporting Obama, we still know what's up.
We know what's up. Like, you can't be in that role and, well, first of all, you can't be in that role and think about one marginalized community just alone. You have to think about a lot of other people. But, like, come on, we all know what that role does. We all know. Well, if we don't, y'all getting ready to find out. Y'all over there.
Why so many people too? Why it was like funny to me when people are like, people who are supporting Kamala Harris, they're no different than MAGA.
Y'all are about to find out.
No, because aside from the fact that they're about to find out, it's just like, do y'all not understand? Black people, we still understand. Even if she was in office, we still understand that don't really
know what's up.
A whole lot of shit for us, other than we're not like overtly fighting for our safe. You know what I mean? Like, we're not in fight or flight all the time, but we still know that the government
we know what's
does not
up.
work for us,
and it never has.
Like, I'm not sure why y'all thought that we thought that. Like, I think it's because y'all don't think Black people know anything.
They don't think. You could stop right there, pull over and park. They did not think this through. And now I'm just being frank, like, they did not think this through. And, like, it was so niche and, like, not niche. It was so trendy to be anti-Harris. And people don't realize when you vote, you're not picking a person that you're rooting for. You're picking an opponent. And now the opponent that y'all picked, whether you picked it by not showing up, whether you picked it by directly voting, or whether you picked it by voting third party, this is the opponent y'all picked.
Yeah.
So good luck on the protesting and things like that. Someone posted this beautiful painting of 4 Black women with afros sitting on top of a building watching, like, the city burn, and they all had mugs. Did you see this?
No. But what I did, like, I said I wasn't gonna do well here. No, I didn't say that. Sorry. I'm
What just happened?
Going higher when you say you're going low, right? So I know a lot of people say they're or don't expect us to do the "hey, told you so" moment, but I think we're tired of not saying "told you so," because here's the thing: people were so. There was a white woman who said it on Instagram, and I had to keep scrolling because I was about to, like, blow up inside.
Don't blow up inside.
Like, I feel like we wanted a revolutionary, but we didn't think about how hard of work a revolutionary. Bitch.
You didn't think.
Think about how, I don't think we
Y'all didn't
thought through
think.
how hard a road. So now, here's the thing: shit hasn't even started, right? I
Y'all
mean,
are losing
we're
it.
seeing shit, but shit hasn't really even
Y'all
popped.
are losing it.
And y'all are already saying this is really hard.
You ain't
Haven't
seen
done
shit
anything
yet.
yet. So it confirms what we said when we said, "Hey guys, hey, we know that a revolution sounds sexy. We know that it like looks cute and like all the merch and stuff, but it's going to be a lot of like very vulnerable people who are at risk if we don't think this through and if we just scream revolution, revolution. It's going to be a lot of people who are going to fuck around and find out.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to harm the least amount of people. Are going to get harmed when change happens. People are going to get harmed regardless.
Regardless.
It is going to happen, unfortunately. But we want to harm the least amount of people as possible. And y'all were like, nah, fuck it, burn it all down, because you saw it on a t-shirt somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're already crying about the work that you're gonna have to do. Like, make it
Just to make basic survival. And here's the thing.
sense.
We were going to have to, again, when you vote, you're picking an opponent. We were going to have to fight and do those things anyway, but at least we would have did so with some measure of our rights.
Mm-hmm.
These people don't give a shit about your rights. They're getting ready to amplify the military against people who are perceived as immigrants. That means for black folks will remember this, whether through epigenetics or through memory, if you're old enough. There was such a thing called walking papers.
Yes.
You're always going to have your ID on you. We always did.
Yeah.
That's not something, but like,
still do.
yeah, like a lot of, but you're going to have to make sure that you have your walking papers with you. Make sure you have all that stuff documented. You're going to have to make sure that you have all your affairs in order. Make sure you have some money saved up. Make sure you have a go bag, because like, people don't know what we're getting ready to walk into. And the only thing that is making me feel any measure of comfort is that these people are so incompetent that they won't be able to really do a lot of the things that they say they're going to do.
Right.
Like,
yeah, some of the things, I think that has brought me a lot of comfort too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they're dumb. They're not going to be able to do it.
Okay, yeah, cool. You can reverse all the executive orders and do
in
this
one day,
shit.
He said.
One day, and do all this and that. But like, stuff still takes follow through, plan, execution.
And there's resistance. There is resistance from lawyers and politicians who remain, you know? Like, yes, it was a big ass red sweep, and we can have a full conversation about the indictment against the Democratic Party because I hate politics. I'm like, fuck politics. I don't care. Like, I don't care about none of that. Who is directly impacted? Who are the people who will be directly harmed? Who will be the people who are directly like affected? And so my whole thing is like, there'll be some resistance that will tie up a lot of these decisions in courts, that will
for
really
years and years, and like,
prayerfully we get to the midterms, and y'all y'all learn y'all lesson over these next two, because these next two are going to be a doozy. Okay, a lot of people are going to be hurt, a lot of bad things are going to happen. Y'all learn your lesson. You learned what a tariff is.
They learn their lesson though.
They will.
Here's the thing. White women are always going to choose whiteness, right? Because like, and I know everybody's like, oh, but we never say anything to white men. I think we speak to white women because those are who we expect our allies.
Who listens?
We don't expect the white men to be our allies, right? And so I just keep looking at history, and I'm like,
I mean,
was this enough? I don't know that this is even enough.
There were those John Browns, them ride or die dudes. So like, shout out to them white dudes. Like, they know what's up, and they cussing their people out right now.
I don't know if you saw, and this is another thing why, okay, children, this is going to be a lesson.
Not okay, children.
Okay.
You're a jerk.
When you read, okay, I wish you guys could see my face. Whitney can see it.
Dying.
When you read, okay, sometimes, and this is a great lesson, especially for biblical things.
Come on, somebody.
Just read one sentence, okay? You got to read the sentences before and the sentences after. And sometimes, boys and girls, when we're talking about policies and politics, you need to read not just sentences after, you need to read pages after.
Please.
Okay?
Please.
So when y'all were like, Trump's gonna stop taxes on overtime, and I don't know if you saw, he's trying to do away with overtime now.
You're not getting paid.
There won't be any
overtime.
There won't be any overtime, bitch. He can't.
Yeah, there won't be any.
Don't have.
Yeah, you're still getting taxed on that, but
okay. And I want you bitches that are working at AutoZone to stop saying that he is lowering your taxes. You're getting a refund every. And this is no hate to AutoZone.
You're about to not get one.
Strays, okay, Radio Shack, wherever. I don't know where they're working.
Don't do this.
You're making $23,000 a year. Okay, he was never lowering taxes for you. You're always
going to get a
refund, babe. I don't know why you're in this conversation.
Maybe you'll get a refund because a lot of people had to pay.
You were never paying taxes. You know
about to. You about to.
They're talking about how the tax plan went up this year. That is Trump's tax plan. It just manifested itself. Okay? Like, things take a minute to manifest. You don't say, tomorrow we're going to change the flag, and then it happens immediately. It takes time.
These things take time.
But anyway, child, I'm not gonna let the fuck around and find out people ruin my day.
No.
What we do need to talk about.
Because that is kind of where I wanted to like pivot, because like, I'm not, for the holiday season, I'm really not going to let people steal my joy. Like, never. Our people have been through worse. And I'm so tired of hearing that same phrase, but it has become a comfort. I'm annoyed because I'm like, why are we still going through worse?
Right.
But, only us, we were very clearly, very, very clearly, looking at those exit polls, very, very clearly against this. Black folks, we know how to survive, if anything. Black folks know how to survive. Black folks know how to make it. Black folks know how to find joy in the midst of it all. And so I'm not concerned about that, because at my Thanksgiving, we gon' cut up, act a fool, eat a lot,
we're going
have
to
joy
for Thanksgiving. And at first I was like resisting. So the past 2 years I've taken over Thanksgiving, which, guys, if
God bless you,
big ass responsibility.
That is massive.
I have Thanksgiving on my shoulders, and I'm talking like
you a grown. You grown for real.
That's what I was like. I'm just a girl.
Nah, you a woman. You a whole woman.
Turkey, ham, collard greens, and macaroni. I'm responsible for those.
Now, those are the staples, baby.
Exactly.
Those are the staples.
That was rough.
They didn't give you the cornbread.
Something. And so this year, before election season even happened, my mom was like, everybody should come home to South Carolina for the holiday. And at first I was like, because not that I wanted to cook, but I just got so used to like the comfort of my own home.
Your own home.
And
that you just moved into.
I said, God be working, because I need to rest in this season. Yes. I need to go to because my parents have moved into my late grandma's house. I need to go into my grandma's house, feel her presence, have my mom cook all of my comfort foods in my hometown.
There's a reason.
And rest.
There's a reason for that.
God be working and just rest.
Yeah. My mom's on a flight on her way up here. And we're going to go to my aunt's house, and it's going to be like multiple generations of people there. And whereas my mom lives, she's in Florida, unfortunately, but everybody lives here in Philly. So she's on her way up like today.
Okay.
And she's going to be up here for the holiday season. And it's just going to be, it's that same like joy. And it's like all the cousins and the stupid bickering we do over spades or some shit, like some Uno. Like Uno will break up a happy home.
Almost caused a fist fight between my two boys the other night, and I was like, "This, you know what?" And I couldn't even be mad because I'm like, "Damn, this in y'all DNA." Uno fights is in Black people DNA.
Uno fights.
I just was like, "Break it up, y'all."
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Get to your quarters.
Get to your quarters. But no, I think we really need that this season.
We do.
And I want to bring that to like, that's what we need as a community. right? Like we need to love on each other. I was looking at, I'm sure some people have seen it, but in where I live, in the county here where I live, little boy got hung by another little boy in the bathroom.
Okay, what is going on?
Don't know. So I'm in the mom group. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Charles, well, y'all already have seen it, but the Charles County Moms Group. And I saw the mom's post. I didn't see the news.
Jesus Christ.
Mom was like, this is before it had come out on the news.
Yeah.
Said, basically, I'm letting y'all aware of this situation. My baby had to be airlifted from Maryland, where I live, to DC. That's about, in a car to the children's hospital. I want to say that's about 45, 50 minutes, right? So airlift, whatever. Had to be airlifted because one little boy hung the other little boy on the coat rack on the bathroom. And by the time the principal got in there, he was foaming at the mouth and unconscious. Okay. So I still don't know the race of the little boy. I've been trying to figure that out because I wanted to see if it was like racially motivated, whatever. Mm-hmm. So she was like putting all of these things. And the immediate thing I noticed was, we don't have community like we need it. That mother is going through hell. And in the comments where, well, we don't know the true story.
What the fuck?
The true story is my child is in the ICU.
You're telling that to the mother of the...
She posted in the thing. They're commenting on. So finally, okay, so then...
It wouldn't have been my mom's group. I would have cussed everybody out.
I wouldn't have been on the mom's group because I would have been in jail. So
I would have... Meet me in the parking lot. Like, what do you mean?
Fight kids and adults. I'm doing that day. You hung my child. You're no longer a child for me. Anyway.
That's insanity.
He needs healing. He needs therapy. However, I was still going to give him hands. Anyway. So.
Blessed assurance.
The next day, the principal puts out something that was like, oh, we're still investigating, but it's a case of horseplay. Someone says.
It's not horseplay.
Said you're investigating, then you said it's horseplay. Horseplay doesn't end with somebody being hung.
Never. So never ends with someone being hung.
That there was more moms chiming in, and potentially they hadn't released, obviously, the identity of the child.
Of course not. They're never going to, yeah.
Yeah. He's in 4th grade and the child he hung's in 2nd grade. And
sounds like bullying to me.
Right. And so other people were like, guys, if this is the same person, I've had a problem with this child as well in a bathroom. Okay.
Wow.
So I said all that to say this. We don't have community anymore. Nobody prioritizes community because instantly in the comments, they're blaming the teachers, they're blaming the school board, they're blaming the parents, they're blaming the teachers. Why not everybody's to blame? The parents, how the fuck do you not know that your child is that big of a fucking bully?
Well,
or that angry? I feel like, okay, I'm not one to always point the fingers at the mom, especially like when school shooters and stuff. People like, where are your mothers? I do, but I don't, right? Because like sometimes, like, okay, you can raise your child amazing, right? And then they can turn 18 and shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
but you know your kid. Like, you be knowing your kid.
I do feel like you know your kid.
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, I'm like, in this situation, I'm like, how do you not see this much anger, especially in a 4th grader? I feel like a 4th grader, that's something, it's a lot easier for me to see my 6-year-old's emotions than it is my 14-year-old's emotions, obviously.
But you know your 14-year-old.
But I do know my 14-year-old.
You know your baby.
I'm like, okay, so why aren't we pointing, if we need to point blame, there should be blame on the parents of the bully. There should be blame on the principal, first of all, for putting that insensitive ass, horrible ass statement. There's blame on, then I see teachers all in the comments. They're like, well, everybody wants to blame the school, but who's to really blame are these parents? Because we'll call parents home for terrible behavior.
That's fair. They're not wrong.
I've had children tell me, go ahead and call my mom. She blocked y'all's number because she's tired of y'all calling. I've had parents tell me. And so anyway, it just brings me back to like, where is the village, right? Because
There ain't none. For
I
some people, there
I
ain't none.
would want my best friends right now. This ain't for everybody because
Yeah.
everybody can't be disciplining my child. But if
No.
my people were out in the street and they happen to see my 14-year-old hanging out and he's cussing and being disrespectful, I hope
No.
they push him up to the side real quick and be like,
Come
"Oh,
here, let me talk to you real
I
quick.
know your mother.
Your mama let you talk like that? Because I know her.
Do you need me?
She don't talk like that.
In the car. I'm gonna take you home because you're wilding out."
It's time to go. Come on.
Exactly. And
bye, y'all.
Anymore. And I've experienced that firsthand. Even employing like these 16 and 17-year-olds, I've had
Jesus.
parents call and
Parents
out. Yeah, I had a parent one time. He calls me, cussing me. I can't even figure out what's going on. I'm like, ma'am, who are you calling out? She tells me the child's name. Let's just say Tim. I'm calling him out Tim. Okay, I'm like, okay, so what seems to be the issue? Why
Right.
would you schedule my child to work at 1-2 o'clock when you know they're in school? That's illegal. And I'm like, ma'am, what's your email address? She gives me the email address. I say, I've never, here's Tim's schedule for the last 3 to 4 months. I'm emailing you. I've never scheduled him before 5 o'clock ever because I'm well aware of the laws.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm a mother myself. Number
So
two,
your baby lied to you.
and I'm a responsible business owner. So then she says to me, well, where the fuck has he been between what? Because he wasn't at school.
Should you know that?
But then my thing is, she didn't know until I guess at this point he had racked up like 10, 15 days.
Excuse me?
They robocall. What are y'all doing when they call y'all and say, hey, your child has been absent? Because
why don't you know where your kid is?
That happened to Jay Sean one time, right? When I tell you I rolled up to the school, it was like, so they said you weren't in fourth period.
Where you been at?
I swear. He was like, he knew. Come to find out, I talked to the teacher directly. She made it. But I don't play that. So at what point aren't we taking accountability for not just ourselves, each other?
Yeah.
Because
we're not. No, can I put some personal flavor on this?
Oh, please.
On why I believe heavy in the parents. First of all, I'm new here. I'm a new parent. Brand new, spanking new. Not as new as some of y'all, but I don't have much time in this parenting game. At my daughter's school, she is in her particular classroom, she is the only black girl. And there is a little white boy who put his hands on her. And this was right after the election. Daddy went up to the school and did what daddy does. No one got cussed out, but he asked some questions. Mama jumped in the emails and did what she has to do. I'm talking to the director. I want a paper trail of my concerns. Literally the next day, talking about it. Didn't really get an immediate response, but then, we went to go pick her up and we went together. I said, you know what? Forget every meeting that I have this afternoon. I need to go up to the school and I just need my presence to be there. I don't have to say nothing. I'm just going up to the school. We get up to the school and her teacher immediately comes over to me and she said, I want to thank you for sending that email. I want to thank you for coming over. We've been having trouble with this little boy for weeks. He has bothered everyone. And the parents kind of just shrug it off like, oh, it's just a kid being a kid. But this has really been like a problem. And we document it and we've been talking about it, and these parents don't want to do anything. So thank you for stepping up as parents and saying this is intolerable. Like, we're not going to tolerate this. And so I want to support what you're saying and saying that the village starts at home. The village starts at home. When you have a baby, that's just not for cute stuff. That's not for play. We are taking these wonderful gifts God gave us and turning them into people, or trying to help them become people. We're not turning them into people, but we're trying to help them become positive influences in society, in the world. If you're blaming everybody else, but you have direct impact on a lot of these things, what are we really saying? Like, what are we really saying? The fact is that little boy so many kids have been affected by this, and the teachers have been reaching out to these particular parents, and they want to be like, little kids do what little kids do. Fuck no. Let me tell you something. If my black child was to clothesline that kid, it would be an issue. It would be a problem.
Now we need to keep our hands to ourselves.
Now it's a problem. Oh, you know how them little black kids are. Nah, fuck that. Let me tell you what's gonna happen.
I have a take that might be controversial.
Wait.
Here's another thing. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
need to stop using your IEPs as excuses not to parent your child. My child has an IEP, okay? So
What's an IEP?
an IEP, they need special assistance, they need a
Oh,
little,
okay.
some IEPs are for behavioral issues,
Understandable.
sensory issues, could be autism. Clifton's IEP is for his speech delay.
Okay.
And there can be different like severity
Thank you for educating me on
levels
that.
of IEPs, which, fun fact, if the Department of Education goes away, my child's IEP will no longer be available. So,
Jesus.
fun fact.
God help us. This
But
is what you voted for.
I am tired of people using their children's behavioral issues as an excuse
It's not.
why they can harm other children.
It's not.
Your child having autism, a sensory issue, okay, right?
We make room and space
We make
for that.
in space.
Yeah.
I also am not one of those who believe. I know there's a lot of people who believe, well, put them in their own classroom. I don't believe.
No, I don't believe that either.
Absolutely not.
No.
However, your kid is not allowed to beat up on my kid.
No.
Because of his IEP, because of his disability, because of whatever
he
might be going through, they might be going through.
Right.
That's not a reason.
Right. Exactly
no,
that.
We need to figure out. So then we need to come back to the drawing board. We need to figure out something. Now, I will say to some degree, parents' hands are tied in terms of the amount of resources.
And that's understandable.
Because some of these kids are so severe in terms of like how they can be triggered.
Right.
That they really do need like a caretaker with, I forget what they're called in the schools, but they would like have an aide. Yeah. They really do need an aide with them in the classroom, but there's not, people aren't applying. Schools have to they have to pay for all of those things.
Yeah.
And so
that's understandable stuff, but that doesn't give your child the right.
Yeah. I'm just not allowing it. And there's been plenty of times too, like Clifton has actually been in Clifton and Jayshawn actually both have been in classes with, Jayshawn actually was in class with someone with a more severe condition in terms with they would have to exit the classroom because the child would flip desk and throw things and the issue, right? And so Jayshawn has been hit before.
Jesus.
In the crossfires of that, the throwing something, and Jayshawn, they told the teacher will always let you know there was an incident in class. And then Jayshawn was very understanding, like, Mom, it was an accident, like
sweet baby.
This and that. So here's my thing. I understand that, but it comes to a point where we need to teach our kids compassion. Absolutely. We need to teach our kids understanding of different people's abilities, disabilities, and how they navigate the world. But you need to figure out something as well so that other children aren't getting hurt. And the only reason I said that was because back to that whole situation, there's a lot of things coming to light now in this Charles County page from different schools. And somebody said that their child was being harassed and has been physically assaulted by another child multiple times. But
same kid.
The school said, no, this is at a different school, same county. The school said, their hands are kind of tied because there's an IEP. The thought, you don't just get to hit.
Yeah, so here's my question about that. Are other kids allowed to beat on that kid because of their IEP?
No.
So then, because all I see is self-defense.
Yeah.
My kid was tired of you whipping on them.
And so, because to my understanding, every IEP is different, but IEPs are supposed to be accommodations from the school.
Yeah.
Okay. To give your child a equal learning experience, or to for Clifton, if there's a test, right? They might pull him out to give him more time to walk him through and work him through. And more so that's a 504 where they make accommodations. But IEP is where they kind of they distinguish what the issue is, and then they put together a plan. But I just think we've gotten to this place where we're uncompassionate, but also we're disconnected from each other, but
Mm,
also we're so exhausted that
mm,
some of us
mm.
have thrown in the towel of truly parenting our kids. So like there's the disconnection, there's the loss of compassion, and then there's
All together.
the exhaustion. And it's this vicious cycle of what we're seeing now.
And
Yeah,
there's no one, there's no, I love, actually appreciate that observation. I think that that is a very critical observation that says a lot about the time that we're living in. But it's also a call to action
mm-hmm.
because, just saying it out loud, just saying it out loud that we don't have it. Like, we don't have community
We
because
don't.
parents are strapped, because people are broke, because people are tired, because we don't talk to each other anymore. We don't sit down and have enough time for each other because parents are working and are stressed and are strapped and are strained, because relationships aren't what they used to be, because we don't really trust each other, because we don't talk to each other. And who are the people who are affected most? Are children.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you seeing that, you observing that, and you putting language to that. But I feel like that's also a call to action, especially right now in the holiday season. Like, I feel like this is the time of literally coming together. This is the time where people are coming home or going home. This is the time where, you know, forget all the gifts and stuff like that. It's the actual just cementing the bonds beyond our Thanksgiving plates and beyond the trees and beyond the menorahs or the kanaras or all of the holiday stuff.
Visuals of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, well, those symbols, they mean stuff and they matter, but it's so much deeper. It's like, how are we really spending time with each other? How are we intentional about choosing time for each other? Because you're, and this is hard to say, but your yes to something over there is a no to your kid.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say yes, it could be for something good, something reasonable. I'm saying yes to work because I have to, because I have to feed the kid. But if you're so tired at the end of the day, you can't even play some Legos for like 20 minutes
Mm-hmm.
or like read a book together, or you're annoyed and frustrated with work and you take it out on that tiny human.
Yep.
Or
I've been in
that,
that season. So like if someone's
yeah.
listening, I want them to understand that like we are not talking about this from the place of, well, first of all, you'll never catch perfect patties over here because we are
Ain't none.
flawed.
Ain't none,
What's in
child.
the heartbeat, child? We miss the
Listen,
mark over here.
mess
Okay,
up every single day, child. All of them.
but
All of them.
and I think I've told you this before, but something I've always really appreciated about you is you're very intentional in the way that you spend time with your daughter.
Try to be.
And I think that's something, and I know people will be like, well, that's not your fault, right? But that's something I'm still grieving. For
Mm,
when Jay Sean was born through 6 or 7. Well, born through 6. I was single mom, so I'm working 2 and 3 jobs. I'm seeing you, I'm picking you up, I'm dropping you off at grandma's house, I'm going to work. And I'm
mm-hmm.
doing that over and over again. And on our one off day, I did try to make it like as magical. We'd have like a mother and son day and we go out to lunch and we do all these
I
things.
love this.
But there's still grief for all of the moments where he wanted to play Legos and I was running late to work. Or, you know
Mm,
what I mean? And I think, unfortunately, sometimes that's where there's beauty in your second child. Like, you really see, like, dang, these woulda, shoulda, coulda. And you
yeah.
really are so much more intentional about doing better.
Yeah.
There's still grief for what you didn't do for that first one.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised with these little ones because I'm listening to some of like my older nieces and nephews. They don't miss it.
I know.
They don't miss it. We grieve because we hold it in our body.
Yeah.
To them, a lot of times they remember these magical moments more than they remember anything else.
Yeah. I mean, for Jay Sean, like, he had fun at Mimi's house. He got to do whatever he
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do.
I bet.
Because I think I was like
Mimi's
so
house.
guilty that I went
Yeah.
beyond on that one off day, then he remembers those big things we did on that one off day.
That's what they
Because, like,
remember.
I remember he was obsessed with Batman, and I
Mhm.
remember we rented a Mustang one time with the top down, and it cost me maybe like $50 for the day. But it was like he was obsessed with Batman. You know what I mean? So
That's
it's like little
so sweet,
intentional
Shivaun.
things. But I think what made me think about that is when you said it's not about gifts. I agree. But one thing that I will say that I notice with, again, when we're talking about community, is when single parents express their sadness in not being able to provide said gifts for children, like on, Christmas, things like that, we're quick to say, if you can't afford it, don't buy it. Or, people
It's
are
not about
say
that.
that, but
Yeah.
feels when you're, because 6 and 7 year olds, they don't understand that their friend doesn't have money, or their parents,
Yeah. They don't get it.
hey, for Christmas I got XYZ. That's all they know, and it doesn't
That's
matter how much
all they
you tell them.
know.
I know I've had plenty of conversations where I'm like, hey guys, when we go back to school, it doesn't matter if somebody
Doesn't
else
matter.
is talking about they got a car, I got a car too. You know what I mean? And
It's
so
hard.
it bothers me when I see like programs where people are like buying toys for kids and stuff, and people are like, they can't buy their own Christmas gifts, and I'm like,
I
it's a
hate that.
child.
How about this? If you're such an asshole to like be upset at
Don't spend your money.
people, don't. How about this? Scroll past. Scroll past. Nobody asks you for your opinion. Let people give joy where they. Do you understand how? I know you understand. I'm not speaking to you, and
No,
I'm not speaking directly to people who are listening to the show, but I'm speaking to the assholes I'm referring to. Do y'all understand how joy deprived people are? Like how joy deprived people are. Just having the ability to get your I'll never forget it. I had just gotten this job that I'm working at right now, and I had just gotten that first good check, that first one.
check that finally let you. God really is here. God sees me. He
Thank you.
knows I was a little stressed. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, that one.
I'm a because there's some stories, but we saving it for the Patreon. Child, I looked at it and I was like, I'm about to be real irresponsible with about $100 of this. And I looked at my kid and I was like, you want to go to Barnes and Noble? And her whole face, because we're book people.
Right.
And when I tell you, I should have taken a picture of her, the stack.
She was like, but you had said you was going to Books and Nobles. You didn't say there was a budget, so.
No, I didn't. I said I was gonna be irresponsible with about $100. But that girl, it felt so good. Oh, it felt so good. And I'm like, it's not about the objects. It's about that moment of just being able to give your kids something that they want, or something they wanted for a while. And we don't do it every day. We don't even do it every week. We don't do it every month. Like, that's not something that we do. We did that one time, and that brought her joy, and she still loves those books, and she still talks about Barnes and Noble. And it's so funny, like, that people, not funny, that's not the right word. I'm annoyed. I'm pissed off that people would look at opportunities like that, where some of us who have a little extra can help these parents be able to have that feeling, be able to have that moment, be able to express that joy and spit on it. Like, what is
the point of having, though?
Yeah, what's the point of even having?
Just a hoard. Okay, like,
Well,
remember
who you talking to?
But I will never forget, I was working at a job. It was at Nissan. I was their receptionist. And the owner of the dealership would go to everybody who had kids, every single person, and ask them, hey, what do you want for Christmas? Like, what does your kid want for Christmas? He bought Christmas gifts for every employee.
That is amazing.
Right? And so
I love that.
remember that for years. I thought that was like years ago.
I want to do that.
Now, when we got our business,
Shivaun.
I now create a Google sheet, and it says the name, how many children. I do up to 5 children. The name, the children, and then pick 3 things for each child. And I buy their gifts. I've been doing it now for 3 years.
My heart.
And
My
it's
whole
because
heart.
somebody did for me. And there are so many employees
That's it.
who they might not any longer be working for us or whatever, but have told me like that really took a load off of
Praise
me.
God.
And the fact that I'm
Listen,
able to do that, to me, that says a lot. Like people will look at like, oh, the money fleeting, right? I look at it as, wow, God bless me with enough money to
that
be able
part,
to pay my bill. Because I'm
that part,
not taking care of my children or, forgetting my bills.
right.
I'm doing this and paying my bills, giving my children their own Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and still, participating in the Christmas joy and being able to do this. So I'm looking at, y'all are looking at like, oh, money, money, money. I'm looking at, wow, God bless me with an overflow.
An overflow, more than I need. I don't need this. Like,
And don't get me
my
wrong,
needs are met.
I be having to tell them sometimes because like some I had an Apple computer on there one time. I was like, guys, come on,
Yeah,
let's
but
get
like,
y'all know
the
I
kid who
cannot
wants like
buy this app.
the kid who wants like a new Barbie.
Right, right.
Like the kid that wants a
Older,
baseball, you
older
know?
kids, I get them like gift cards. Like if
Yeah.
video games, they already have a video game console. I can't buy you the PS5, but what video games do they
What
want?
game do you want?
They already have.
Yeah, that's
Or I can get you some gift cards towards it. Like if I was already going
yeah.
to spend $200 on that child,
Right.
I will give you an Xbox or a PS5 gift card. You
Right.
can buy the rest, or they can save for it, whatever. But it's
But
things
that's good.
like that. That's part of community.
That's community. That right there. But think about also what you're modeling for your sons.
Yeah, because I take them with us too. So then
Mhm.
that's another thing. I think there's a reel actually on my Instagram of us doing it last year. But the boys were so excited. Like we filled up like 3 carts full of like all these toys. And Clifton didn't understand at first. He was like, well, where's my toy? Like
Right.
no,
Where's my toy lady?
for other kids. And he was like, why? And I'm like, because when we're blessed enough to have and get all of the things we have, we're supposed to give to other
We're
people.
supposed to give to other people. Like
And
that's
he
what
was
we
just like, all
do.
right, cool. What do
Yeah.
we need to get next? And it's that simple for kids. And I don't know why
Mhm.
adults' hearts are so hardened.
I mean, there's a myriad of reasons. But like I just think about our culture and our families and the way like, if grandma had free time, she would take the kids. We wouldn't have to like get a babysitter.
Yes.
Aunties and uncles. I'm talking about safe relatives, y'all. I'm
Yeah.
talking about safe relatives, y'all. There's a difference. But
Or even
of this,
neighborhoods. You used to be able to say your child outside and they be playing out.
everybody would play.
Yes.
Everybody would be looking out for each other. Like
Just saw your child go down the street. Okay, thanks.
hey, I got something for your mama. Come here. Let me take
You
this to your
ain't
mama for me.
all the way at the end of the street. Come down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the older ones would watch the little ones. It is like, this is what we do. I think that because of the culture that we're raised in, that is so rugged individualist,
Yeah.
that we even put our kids on that. Like, well, I'm gonna look out for me. I'm gonna do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's never been a healthy model because none of us ever achieve anything on our own.
Right.
It's never us on our own. With we all come standing on the shoulders of folks. We also come surrounded by folks. Like so when you're looking at, any achievement story, you're looking at a community. Like nobody does this on their own unless they've done some really terrible things.
I was gonna say, but top 1%, right? Because like people will look and be like, oh, this person got out of the butt. No, Jeff Bezos got a loan from his parents.
Hello.
Trump got a loan from his parents. Bill Gates' mom was on the board of I think IBM. And those are just like a couple because I know those are people's favorite white men. So I just want to show you how alone is still community.
So community.
Somebody, knowing somebody and having networks with ties within somebody within on a board
Yep.
is still community.
Say it.
So you still needed resources and community to get to where you got. And so, child, we can go on and on, but
I think this is that. But I love that this was the topic for this particular season where we find ourselves following this election. People are so full of anxiety, they're so full of fear, they're so full of like hopelessness. I want us to really refocus and recenter on each other. Like, this is a time to, yes, look within, but also look towards your neighbor, look towards your friend circles, look towards your family circles. This is the time to really cultivate, like, really deeply, truly cultivate deep community, because these next few years, we all we got. We
We
are
all
all we have out
we
here.
got.
And this is like the
Bring back
launch pad
bartering.
of that.
Bring back bartering. Why aren't we like, no, but for real, like, why aren't we like, hey, I need
Because
my,
nobody has anything. We
like,
don't have land or cows and shit.
not even that. Okay, like bartering for services, right? Like, hey, I need my hair braided. You have a laundry, or I have a laundry company, right? I
Bring
will
back
go
bartering.
your laundry and you braid my hair. You know, I'm just like
So deeply unserious.
so deeply unserious. But I'm just like, or even like, I remember when Jay Sean was first born, there was like a group of like, I want to say it was like 4 of us. We did not throw away baby clothes because all of us had,
No.
and so we just kept passing them around in a circle.
Yeah.
Some people got back the clothes twice because they
Yeah.
had more kids. I was like, fuck that.
You're like,
Okay,
I'm
so
finished
I,
for now.
I was 19. I was a single mom. You wasn't gonna catch me in the streets. But it's just stuff like that. Like that sounds so simple, but like, why? Why not? Why not? Hey, I have a pair of shoes for a 4-year-old. You have a 10-year-old. They've outgrown
Right.
their shoes. We switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what's up.
why is that so? I don't know. Anyway, Whitney and I are going to, over the next few weeks, put together a Black-owned shopping guide. Okay, it'll have more than just T-shirts on it. Black people,
Shivaun.
I love y'all.
Shivaun's gripe with the T-shirts.
But y'all love a T-shirt. Oh my god, y'all love a T-shirt. Y'all love a graphic tee. Y'all do, baby. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
You are so funny.
I'm gonna support y'all every time.
Every
But
time.
damn, we need
Like,
some other stuff too.
like we love. Can we get a hoodie? Can I get one of them canvas tote bags with the cool? I be carrying my groceries or my books in there, miscellaneous items. Like, I love a tote bag. Give me some sweatpants.
Some more plant shops and coffee shops. And
That too. I was just being petty about the t-shirts because I was like, a pair of sweatpants with a cool, a sweat set goes hard in the streets.
and
Absolutely.
y'all know I love us, but everything don't have to say Black Queen on it. Black excellence.
Say Black Queen on it.
Okay.
I mean,
because
shout
we
out
want
to
them other folk to spend their coin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
They're not gonna buy the Black King.
I don't want them wearing I'm a Black Queen, melanated goddess. Like, what are we talking about here?
100%.